Hey guys, what's up? It's Sam, and we are talking about odd object lifting in the new functional fitness world. So we've been trying to give you guys some subs and some different ideas about things. So what I have here is a nice tub of a Sterilite storage tub. So I'll give you some ideas of some things you could do for this. The first thing that we could do would be just some deadlifts, right? Odd object, making the best in a bad world. Another thing we could do, we're missing out on a lot of pulling since probably most of you guys don't have a lot of pull-up bars or things like that at your home gym. We could do some bent over rows here with this Sterilite tub. What about some functional cleaning? Work on some power cleans. We could also do some pressing of the Sterilite tub. You could do some things like that with it. You could also use it, get back peppers. We could jump over this, right? If people don't have box jumps, right? What we do have is something to do box overs. Peppers likes it, or burpee box jump overs. Hope that gives you a little bit of an idea. All right, we're working on more odd object things that we could do for subs. Maybe you guys see kettlebell swings and you don't have a kettlebell, or you haven't figured out a way to make a home style kettlebell. What you probably have, especially if you're during this time with children, is a backpack. You could fill it with clean clothes, dirty clothes. Here's an idea that might make it heavy. You could put books in a book bag. Weird, a novel idea, I know. But you could do this. You could do several things with it. You could do first a kettlebell swing, right, with your backpack. Whoop. Okay. You could do one arm kettlebell swings with your backpack, right? You can still do the same thing like we did before. We could do some deadlifts. Right, it's almost like a rack pull that we can work on. We could do some full cleans, right? If you don't have a medicine ball, you could work on it like that. What if you wanted to take your backpack to do some wall ball style stuff, right? You could just throw it straight up, depending on how many books you have in there. You could also do like what we just talked about, right? We could do some one arm book bag rows. We could do some old school sumo deadlift high pulls with that. We could still press this, right? We could push press it. Depending on how heavy it is, you could do some snatching. You can get a little shoulder burn, right? You grab it, press that straight out, do some truck drivers with it. You could do some lateral raises. You could take it all the way overhead, depending on how heavy that might be. You could do some side raises for your shoulders with your backpack. You could get some tricep extensions in there, right? You could do some one arm tricep extensions. You could do some bicep curls. All of these things with a odd object that I'm pretty sure that everyone has, Mr. Book Bag. Next odd object that I believe that most men have is a toolbox. And this might be heavier than some of the other things that you had before that we mentioned, like your utility storage tubs or your book bags or something like that. So again, ideas that we could do with our toolbox, some almost like old school one arm suitcase deadlifts, right? Depending on how you wanted to work that. You could do some rows again with that, almost like a dumbbell on either side that you're working on there. You can work on cleaning that tub, that toolbox. You can work on some front squatting, right? You could do some old school back squatting with any sort of odd object like that, right? The old story actually of Milo of Croatia, right? Carry the calf up the hill every single day until that calf was full grown, and that's how he became the strongest wrestler and the father of strength training, right? So, things that you could do there. You could also carry it like a boom box for your odd object squatting, if you needed to work on that. You can still do 2-arm dumbbell rows, depending on how heavy your toolbox is, right? You can still do some pressing of that toolbox, push pressing, push jerking. Maybe even you want to work on your split jerk. Boom, boom, still 1, 2. Woo. Toolbox is a little tougher than the others. Not necessarily an odd object, but last thing we're talking about for some subs would be a band. You could step on top of this and still get in some deadlifts. If you don't have a bar with some resistance, you can see there, feet still shoulder width apart, right? You have your regular deadlift, and you also, same thing if you stand on it, right? You could also do your sumo deadlifts if you wanted to keep pulling. We talked about before in one of our earlier videos that we made with the band. Put it right across our feet, right? Got some cable low rows there. If we go back to our first deadlift stance like we had, we could still do alternating bent over rows, or same time bent over rows there. Then finish it out, right? A little bicep pump, right? Because why not? So hopefully those are some good pulling ideas that we have set up for you guys with minimal equipment.